everyone here in the audience who thinks that flat top hair talks are great, haircuts are great. I see this gentleman over here with the white hair. He has more hair than I do. He has a better flat top. I'm jealous. Okay. Well. Okay. Next thing. There's a lot of stuff to cover here, but I want to do soapbox first. To begin with, Mr. Guy Smith is here from Gun Facts fame.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I'll try to be brief. Most of you already know who I am. If you don't know, I am the founder and sometimes reluctantly still the head of the Gun Facts Project. This is your one-stop shop for copying and pasting facts, charts, and citations about the gun control debate. This will help you win any argument that you have with any anti-gun person. So if you have a smartphone, pull it out, go to gunfacts.info and bookmark that page. And I'll tell you one of my other reasons for being here in just a second. We're at the end of our research year, and I wanted to recap very quickly a couple of things that we discovered in primary research, which is going to be important in this election year, because these are some of the big anti-gun memes that are out there among the politicians. One of the first things that we did was that we finally broke the code as to why some polls show a decline in household gun ownership and other polls show that household gun ownership is remaining the same. And the ones that are showing a decline poll everyone regardless of their immigration status. So if you take the immigration status percentage of the population that are not native born and you invert that chart and you put it on household gun ownership, the lines match up almost perfectly. The other polls, they only poll registered voters. One of the other things that we did was some primary research that showed that in states with strict gun control laws, they import most of their crime guns from other states with strict gun control laws. In other words, we blew out of the water the iron pipeline myth. And if you go to gunfacts.info, just key in the word latch, you'll get our full report on that as well. We also set up a YouTube channel this year. We have 60-second videos that you can share on Facebook or anywhere else to try to educate the public on some of the major topics that are coming up in this election year. We analyzed universal background checks, showed that they were not universal, and showed why they will make almost no difference in gun crime whatsoever.
How's it going?
And there's probably a dozen other things I can talk about, but I'm not going to bore you with that. What I want you to do is go to gunfacts.info, make that your number one resource, because in this election year, we've got to beat down the memes that the anti-gun crowd are putting out there.
I'll see you then.
And the other thing that I want you to do is to make a donation. We do a fundraiser every year. We are in our last week of it this year. All of the money that goes into doing this research comes from people like you. We don't get money from the NRA. We don't get it from the SAF. God knows we don't get it from Michael Bloomberg. It depends on you guys. If you can donate $1 or $2, wonderful. Even if you can't, do me a favor. Go to gunfacts.info. Tell everyone on your email list to drop by the website in this last week of the fundraiser and drop us a dime. Thanks.
Well, Jan, didn't you have a comment last meeting about something about our money?
Yes, I did.
What was that comment?
I said, between the barbecue and paying the phone bill, we haven't really done a lot.
Jeez, he wants money, you want to give money.
I make a motion.
Suggesting something, Jan?
I can make a motion that we give Guy Smith some money for gun facts.
Okay.
I make a motion, it's a blank check.
I second that motion.
I agree on one friendly amendment that it's your check.
I forgot it.
Mr. Smith with $500 help.
Oh, good Lord, thank you. Yes, I will.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Seeing none?
Thank you so very much. That helps tremendously.
Oh, one question. What do we make the checks out to?
Gun facts.
Gun facts?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there info on your website about how to make the donation?
Absolutely. This week it will cover your entire computer screen hanging about it.
Now, we have a gentleman here with us last time, and as part of the soapbox, we'd like to recognize those folks who are taking the battle to the elections, and we have with us again Mr. John Inks.
Hello, everyone. Any of you that were here last month, I'm just going to give the same introduction. I'm a longtime National Rifle Association supporter and supporter of Second Amendment rights, gun rights, for sure. I'm currently serving on the Mountain View City Council. This is the last year of my second term, and I've announced my candidacy for the State Assembly. This is the 24th District Assembly, which is Western Cupertino, Sunnyvale, Mountain View, Palo Alto, East Palo Alto, Menlo Park, Atherton, Portola Valley, out to the coast, El Granada, and Half Moon Bay. So most of southern San Mateo County, running principally on a platform associated with the state budget, which is healthy right now, but they make terrible assumptions in the legislature. I have history in the city of Mountain View where we balance budgets, structurally balanced budgets. Revenues are greater than expenditures. When we adopt a budget, we make sure that if we are short on revenue, that we trim expenses and implement cost savings. It's probably the main thing in pension reform in Sacramento. So it's broader than just guns, but I'm a solid vote on gun rights. I have a website, I have yard signs in the back there. Any of you that live in southern San Mateo County or the Santa Clara County cities that I mentioned, please take a yard sign. I also have a door hanger and also a contribution envelope if you'd like to contribute to my campaign at inks4assembly.com with the number 4, inks4assembly. Thank you.
And I will attest that he has cashed my check. Next, we have some folks who actually were at in a local political meeting with Madison Wynn. And if you'd be kind enough to come up and give us a briefing on what you experienced. By the way, Madison's running for mayor?
Assembly on the 27th district, 27th Assembly District. John Trestle and myself went to speak to her and to give us some background on her. She and her family came here as refugees from Vietnam, escaping communism, and she worked her way up from actually working in the fields to getting educated. She actually has 2 degrees, one from Harvard and one from Stanford, and she has a background as a school teacher. Now, we spoke to her about our main concerns, of course, being gun control, and she was someone reasonable to speak to as far as that went. It seemed like she's somebody who's open to ideas. And one of her main concerns is education, of course, but also she's very conservative with regards to fiscal issues. And so she's against government waste. That's one of the things she's fought against, and sometimes she's gone against her own party on that. The main guy she's running against is a Democrat by the name of Ash Collier. And I've been told by Dave that he's a big government, big spending liberal, and he's absolutely anti-Second Amendment. So we don't want to see him elected to anything. But Matt Madison, at least, even though she's a Democrat, that could be somebody we support. Now, if anybody who's in the 27th district has any questions, I have a number that you can call for her campaign headquarters, and it's 408-398-0808. You can also go to madisonnuyen.com. Nguyen is spelled Nguyen, And another thing I wanted to bring up is that as a supporter of Ted Cruz, I get regular emails, and I got one from this morning about an event that's going to be right here in Santa Clara County at the County Government Center on 70 West Hague, and it's going to be in the Sir Isaac Newton Auditorium. And that's the auditorium that's right in the middle between the east and west wings. You know, that long hallway, as soon as you go in through the front entrance, it's going to be right in front of you. There's two big double doors.
What day?
That event is going to be on April the 13th. It's going to be at between 6 and 6:30 p.m. And there's going to be people there representing Ted Cruz. They're going to have yard signs and bumper stickers. They are selling them. The yard signs are $5. Bumper stickers are $2 a piece. And there's also going to be other Republican candidates that are running for local and state and national office. So, and I'm not sure if you have to RSVP or not. There's a chairman that you can contact.
Give it to Fred. Fred, put it up on the website.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. Thank you very much, sir. All right. Yes, now, Green Wings, ladies and gentlemen, there are fewer and fewer organizations, events designed to get kids to engage in the hunting and shooting sports. Green Wings is one of them. Every year, Mr. Varner and a few other of us, we go out there to help them put up a firearm safety range, and we do the BB gun or the pellet gun training and such. We need bodies to help out. There's a barbecue afterwards, you get fed and all that kind of stuff. But basically, you go to Half Moon Bay, you enjoy the day. A little cold in the morning, so bring a jacket. But it's a good day, and you're doing the right thing. So I know I'm going to be there to help out. Mr. Varner's going to be there to help out. Is there anyone else? This is going to be June 13th, 12th, which is a Sunday. Starts at about 9 in the morning. Usually buttons up around 12, 1, 2 o'clock, something like that. It depends on, whatever's going on. Sir, okay? I need to make sure we get, into this before I make a mistake.
Also, you can come see me at the back table to give you contact information. But if you have kids, it's free for the kids. It's similar to our barbecue, a little smaller, but there's activities for the kids from birdhouse building and petting zoo to archery and air gun. So old and young kids, afterwards they get a hot dog lunch, and every kid walks away with good prizes. Tent, fishing pole, air guns. Lots of good stuff is donated. So every kid goes away with something, and a fun day.
Okay. I'm sorry. Name, sir?
Bring your grandkids. The kids really have a lot of fun.
Yes. And if you ever want to see something hilarious, watch these kids chasing petting animals, and the animals are trying to run away. It's a riot. It's a riot. Last time they almost knocked down the whole thing, and the animals all got away. It's a great time. Anybody else? Once again, kids are key. Yes? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Funny Williams.
Okay. Anybody else? Cool. Okay, that's a good start. We'll talk about that more later. Okay, and that takes care of all the soapbox stuff. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Mr. G, come on up. I'm sorry. My apologies.
Some of you have heard me speak just briefly about some of the other development projects that are happening around the city. If you go to sjdistrict1.com, that's the district, San Jose City Councilman Chappie Jones's District 1 office website, you'll see a diagram of this entire parcel and the artist rendering of the project that's going to come here. It's going to be San Jose's, what they call the first signature development project, which is a big all-inclusive project, housing, retail, urban center. This, as a signature project, will drive urban village development in this Saratoga-Stevens Creek corridor. It's really going to change things, and it may eliminate our use of this room as they build out. We may wind up having to look for a new place to go. But one of the main points I wanted to make was that as these big developments go in, and not even necessarily big developments, but smaller developments, it behooves everybody, no matter what municipality you're in, with the exception of Gordy and his wife living up in Boulder Creek or up in the hills, if you're in a major metropolitan area, you will be affected by these types of growths. The apartment complex on Winchester and Williams, that will be torn down and developed to a much more dense degree. The traffic impact fees that were paid by the developer to the city to the tune of, I think, $1.5 million for traffic impact fees that should go to roadway improvements to mitigate the traffic that will be generated by these new trips. The city of San Jose plans to use those funds to put garbage cans on the streets, widen sidewalks, and jam bicycle lanes down Winchester Boulevard. Okay, so this is going to happen. I anticipate this type of thing happening no matter what district you're in San Jose, no matter what municipality. These types of things will be coming at you. So if you value your roadways, your personal liberties, I regard these as personal liberty issues and the will of the public, I encourage you, pay attention to your development projects that are going in, talk with your neighbors, rally the troops, and you may be able to avert some of these bad things to come. It'll be a fight, but we've all got to fight if we value these things. So please pay attention, engage your city council, engage your municipal government, and take action on these things. Because if you don't, you're probably going to be sorry.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to race through some officer and committee reports. First of all, President report on Pioneer. Once again, the way we support this room and using it when you buy meals. If you bought a meal and you got a receipt, please give it to me or Mr. Varnes so we can calculate for it. The more meals we sell, the more likely we can use this room without having to pay for it. It's an expensive room, so we need that stuff. Also, we have stuff in the back of the prize drawing table. If you'd like, we have a chocolate hand grenade. We got a really nice little basket there of wine. We've got cups and stuff like that. We've got some really nice cookies with a coffee cup. There's a bunch of stuff back there. Book a ticket, take a chance at it. It's really good stuff. May is when we kick off, start telling tickets for the barbecue. And so a lot of debate has been going around on what to do. I believe we have at least one M1 Garand left. So, should we do an M1 Garand raffle as part of the barbecue, or should we do other stuff?
Barbecue.
Garand. Anyone not like a Garand? Anyone thinks Garands are sissy guns? Anybody against the Garand? Anybody in favor of the Garand, other than this gentleman and myself? Okay. All right. We'll figure out a secondary gun. I'm sorry, you've already got a Garand. You don't get any more.
No, I don't. I had to sell it.
That doesn't matter. You won.
I'm going to win this one.
Okay, so we'll figure out another gun. We'll see what's legal in California anymore. We'll find out what happens. I want to emphasize once again, register and vote, or you're registering your right to buy ammo. I can't say it strongly enough. You got to register and vote, or you're going to be registering to buy your ammo. That's what's on the ticket with Mr. Gavin Newsom. Okay? I've got a big poster up in the back that talks about the options that he's got, the basic bullet points. Literally, you're going to have to buy a license to buy ammo.
Every year.
Every year. And you're going to only be able to buy ammunition from certain licensed carriers. I guarantee you the cost will go up. Good luck trying to bring ammunition into California from Nevada, et cetera, from one of the shows, because I guarantee you, there are cops up there counting license plates and such. You're gonna get your ass in trouble. So, if it's just not a thing here, if you have not it says issue Gavin Newsom's gun grabbing proposition. Get a copy of this, or 2 or 3. Make sure people read it. Because he's got a petition out there, he's trying to get on the ballot, and he's got enough money to buy the signatures, but you gotta get people to sign it, to avoid signing it. You gotta shut them down. Okay? Mike?
Take a copy home, make copies, take it with you to the range.
Yes.
Other shooters.
Yeah, give them to people, hand them out, lay them around. It's critically important that we put a nail in this guy. Once again, election year, we've already talked about that. Let's see, is there anything else? No from El Presidente, because I'm going to get on to the main speaker. So let's move on to Mr. Vice President report.
So, got a couple things. First off, apparently they're going to settle once and for all the issue between whether Star Trek or Star Wars is better. Star Trek red shirt and Star Wars stormtrooper got me bad. The stormtrooper missed every shot. The red shirt died anyway.
Yep.
Okay, I guess you guys aren't Trek fans. Sorry about that. What was the other thing? Oh yes, I got a new moron report. Apparently, another moron was taking a selfie of himself with a gun to his head and pulled the wrong trigger and killed himself. So, here is the correct way to take a selfie with a gun to your head. First, unload the gun. Second, check it's still unloaded. Third, put it in a box. Fourth, take down the cops and tell them, I'm too stupid, don't want a gun. Come home, put a finger to your head, and then take a selfie. Then you'll be all right. It's like, how stupid can you be? Okay. I was going to mention Guy Smith's thing. He came up and talked about that. What was the other thing I was going to talk about? I have 4. Well, there is I saw something interesting the other day, a good point. I'm sure everybody's probably heard it before, but people that talk about how the Second Amendment only applies to militias. Well, guys says, no, if it only applied to militias, it would have said that the right of the militias to keep in their arms would be, shall not be infringed. It says specifically the right of the people. And the whole Constitution is about the people, so it's not a militia thing. So if anybody ever brings that up, that's your counter to that point. No, it's not a militia thing because it would say just militia if that was what they meant. So I'm going to get off the box here so we can get going on with the rest of the meeting. Thank you guys.
We have Madam Carolyn Seidel with 2 items. One is her monthly humorous side of guns. And then we had nominations recently for officers, so we need to put that to rest as well.
Well, we may as well start with that part. Although I will tell you, if you really should want to be part of the officers, because you get 2 barbecues, not 1. He's a good cook. And at Christmas time, you get muffins. And that's really neat. Okay, so I think we've already decided that there are only a certain group of people who are...
Does anyone want to nominate themselves or somebody else for any of the offices for treasurer, secretary, vice president, or president? Raise your hand.
This is not a bad hit. There's nothing special here. No hard work.
No nomination. Looks like.
Okay, all in favor of the standard group repeating their errors, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
No.
You're more. So you're stuck.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll get to the more 6-year-old and a 4-year-old are raking the yard, and the 6-year-old asks, "You know what? I think it's about time we started learning to cuss." The 4-year-old nods his head in approval. 6-year-old continues, "When we go into breakfast, I'm going to say something with hell, and you say something with ass." The 4-year-old agrees with enthusiasm. So when the mother walks in the kitchen and asks the 6-year-old what he wants for breakfast, he says, "Oh, hell, Mom, I guess I'll have some Cheerios." Whack! Flies out of the chair, tumbles across the kitchen floor, gets up, runs upstairs crying his eyes out, with his mother in hot pursuit, slapping his rear with every step. Mom locks him in his room and shouts, "You can stay in here until I let you out." Then she comes back downstairs, looks at the 4-year-old and asks with a stern voice, "And what do you want for breakfast, young man?" "I don't know," he blubbers, "but you can bet your ass it won't be Cheerios." Another little kid, he came in and he was kind of bugging his mother and he says, "Mom, how old are you?" She said, "You don't ask that from women. Don't ever ask a lady how old she is." She says, well, if you won't tell me that, how much do you weigh?" This, no. You never ask a lady that. That's a terrible thing to ask. So it's, "Well, how come you and Dad got a divorce?" She says, "I'm not going to talk to you about these things. Now go away, go play." So he went outside and he went to his next door neighbor and he's talking to the kid next door. And he's a little bit older. Told him what he was upset about and what he'd asked and what his mom told him. And the kid said, "I know how to answer all that stuff. Just go find your driver's license. That'll tell you everything you want to know." So the kid went back in the house. He's hunting around, sees her purse, and pulls out the driver's license. A little bit later on, he sees his mom and says, "I know how old you are." Says, "I saw your driver's license." Says, "You're 42 years old." Says, "And I know how much you weigh. You weigh 128 pounds. And I know why you got a divorce. You got an F in sex." Okay, so the last one's a little closer to home probably because some of the older folks don't hear as well. Bob feared his wife Kathy wasn't hearing as well as she used to, and he thought she might need a hearing aid. Not quite sure how to approach her, he called a family doctor to discuss the problem. The doctor told him there's a simple, informal test the husband could perform, give the doctor a better idea about her hearing loss. "Here's what you do," said the doctor. "Stand about 40 feet away from her in a normal conversational voice. See if she hears you. If not, go to 30 feet, then 20, so on until you get a response." That evening, the wife's in the kitchen cooking dinner. He was in the den. He says to himself, "I'm about 40 feet away. Let's see what happens." In a normal tone, he says, "Honey, what's for dinner?" No response. So the husband moves closer to the kitchen, about 30 feet from his wife, and repeats, "Kathy, what's for dinner?" Still no response. Next, he moves in the dining room, where he's about 20 feet away. Says, "Honey, what's for dinner?" Again, he gets no response. So he walks up the kitchen door about 10 feet away and says, "Honey, what's for dinner?" Again, no response. So he walks right up behind her and says, "Kathy, what's for dinner?" "For heaven's sakes, Bob, for the 5th time, chicken."
All right. Mr. Hoot, do you have anything for the webmaster report?
Yes, I do. First of all, I want to thank everybody who was praying for me. I got out of the hospital in record time, and instead of 3 weeks in recovery, I was there for 10 days. So thank you. Now, a person who shall remain nameless. Let's see, I was actually off the operating table for about close to 10 hours. Had me putting stuff up on the website. And I could do it without a problem. The operation came off really good. Okay, I do have a volunteer who's going to be helping me. I'm going to teach him how to update the website. It's really simple. If you can operate Microsoft Word, no problem. You can post anything on there you want and take care of it all. And the more difficult stuff will be either automated or have written instructions, so it's really cool. And I'd like to thank a bunch of people that sent in after last time I begged and got on my hands and knees and groveled before you all, of sending me some information that I could post on the website about guns. And guess what? Some people responded. I have about 6 or 7 people that responded. Very good. I want to see more of that. And I thank you. And I'm glad to be back.
Mr. Schrader, are you up for saying anything about legislative stuff or no?
More or less.
Okay? If you don't want to walk, you want to do it from back there, that's fine. Okay. By the way, Steve, okay, I forgot to announce your stuff, so yell at me, okay, because we're going to announce that. We have an announce it. You need a chair, boss?
No, I'll get by.
Okay.
Apparently I didn't beat Fred in the record. I was in for 2.5 weeks, so.
He cheated.
No.
So for those of you that sent emails and so on, thank you. I was in the hospital for most of January and 2 different trips, and a little excited. I'm back up around now, and I'm going to start teaching again next month, but it was a slow recovery. I had a friend drop off a flyer last month, and the flyer's the same this month. The need to register and vote is not something you do just for yourself. Each and every one of you needs to build a network of people. If I can hear it from here. A network of people that you get registered also. If it's just individuals, we're not going to get the numbers we need. The articles that are back there that I have copied on the table over there next to where the GS2AC stuff was are copied out of this month's CRP magazine. Now, if you're a CRP member, you get this bi-monthly magazine now, and Chuck Michelle is now the president of CRP, which means good things. It means they have a political action committee now, which is to spend money on Newsom. But the basic articles are coming with, and last month's articles from Wayne and Chris Cox all said the same thing. Literally our future, a future that doesn't have a Supreme Court Justice Obama, that doesn't have a President Clinton on it, is going to be if we get the numbers to the polls. So the first job is to get people registered. And when people ask when I was off for 3 months what to tell people, I say the same thing. You've got to build your own network. And the information you give has got to be not too often, but it's got to be regular enough where they pay attention. So as you build a network of people that are signed in your registered voter, get their email addresses, okay, and create your own small list, whether it's 5 or 10 or 20 or 30 people, whichever. When you go to the NRA Members Council website, it's got that email tool. Sign up for it, get alerts when there's legislation to deal with. It's extremely important if we're going to make changes to help people that are running for office. I've known John Hicks for over 10 years, and there was a fellow, Matt Perry, that was there before in Mountain View. As a friend of and a volunteer working with the gun vault store, every time there was an approach to bring gun control in, and they brought it in some strange ways. They brought it in a civility roundtable, they brought it in various ways. John was alerting us, he was there in advance. Okay, if you don't go out of your way to make sure that people, District 24 is kind of North Santa Clara and South San Mateo County, it's the heart of where we are. Okay. If you don't let people know that this guy needs to be elected, he's running as actually I think a libertarian, right? So there's going to be, and the problem with the races now is the top 2. So down here, top 2 is often 2 Democrats, okay? But here's a guy who's always been pro-gun, been a leader of the pack in Mountain View when the stuff comes up like that. People need to help him, and again, you need to go be on your own. You need to tell people. So as you build your group, make sure you're informing them. Maybe the friends you got live in that district and you don't, okay? So you not only have to build your friends and get people registered, but that group you build, you've got to keep them informed. Talk about legislation and let them know that when we have a list of people to vote for, we're going to let them know and they have to do it. You've got to be more than just enthusiastic about this yourself. You have to reach out and build your own group. That's what some of us have done for years, with me on my back for close to 2.5 months. And that's all I could advise. But if we build the numbers, and one of the papers back, you guys have heard me talk about how there's 8 million gun owners, of which half aren't registered. CRP did the same analysis. It's on their website. I have copies of it there. They came up with the same answer. Somewhere between 7 and 11 million gun owners in the state. The last guy that won a state election won it with 1.5 million votes, okay? So if we register 1 million to say nothing to 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 million, we own the state. But not if you just nod your head and say, yes, I'm registered. Okay, you have to reach out. Every one of you has to build your own little army. There's not an army of one. So the articles I have out there for you for handout, take a look at them. If you're not a CRP member, join. For those of you like me that have got some issues with the way the NRA ran the Members Council program, because that's how this was formed, okay, CRP now has a foundation, they have a political action committee, and they're working in California on stuff and doing things, and I appreciate Chuck and Michelle. I talk to them once or twice a week doing that. So if you want to direct your donations to where they stay here in California, instead of sending them to Iowa, send them to CRP. It's still the same message, okay? But it's not terribly expensive to join. They're working on stuff. They're going to gun shows. They're expanding their stuff. They're filling in truly where the Members Council should have been under his direction. So build your group, send out information, give people links once or twice a month, let them know do the same job that I do here, okay? Let's build these numbers. Let's get the 1 million new voters. If everybody that's in here does 5 people a week, and every store does 50 people a week in terms of registration, we can do it. Your smartphone or your iPad or whatever, you can link that address. It's www.registervote.gov. It's easy, it takes 3 minutes. I'm asking the gun stores to put a tablet out the counter while people are paying for their purchase to get them to sign up. But if we get enough registered, we win. If we don't, every right we've got is going to be gone for 25 years. It's just no other way about it. The sky is falling. Okay? So build your group, get it there. If you have questions, need information, ask us, come to our website, come to CRP's website, the information's there. Okay? Thanks.
All right, finally, my mistake. We have our good friends with the Friends of the NRA dinner, Mr. Steve, and I was delinquent in failing to mention this earlier. We will have a table there, and with regard to that, I'm going to be there at the table. Is there anyone else who would like to attend as part of our table? Mr. Fred? Two? GS2AC. Yeah, GS2AC table. Okay, see, before the end of the meeting, please come up so we can make sure we calculate. What we will do, we'll buy the table, and all you have to do is just reimburse the club. So everything will be set up for you. You'll need to check to the GS2AC, but we'll take care of all the tickets.
When and where?
All right, when is Friday, May 6th? Where is the San Jose Elks Lodge on Alma? And we open the doors at 6 o'clock. It's my 10th year running the dinner. It's a fundraiser. It's a great event. A lot of people there, you know, excellent food, lots of prizes, lots of guns. So if you like guns, if you like good food, please come. I'll be here all night. I've got tickets with me, so hook up with the GS2AC table or separately, and please come enjoy the evening. It's a great event. Thanks.
Guns to be won. Guns. Okay.
It's up on the website. It's been up on the website for a couple months.
Yes.
Steve did mention it, and we haven't received a check yet, but we're doing a free junior rifle training at the 10th Street range. And we got, if all money came in, I think it did, you voted on it, I don't know. We got about $20,000 for that program.
Yep.
So we got a little storage system that lets us work it through guns, ammunition, and stuff. And once a month, starting this month on the 4th Saturday, we're going to have, I don't know, the publish it is free. We've got the 500 kids waiting. But for small groups, people of interest and so on, call me or call the club, and we're basically going to start. For kids to get involved in various rifle programs, which is something they want to do, they have to have a basic safety class. So we're doing, and they had a guy doing first steps rifle that's been on for a couple years. So don't we bring kids in? It's a dangerous situation to be in when you're not bringing kids in the streets.
Agreed.
We've got a volunteer team on the room, and we're ready to set up everyone on the 4th Saturday. We're going to have a free junior first steps rifle from 5 to 9 p.m. There'll be registration in advance, the song will announce it, and I'll give you a sign.
Please do.
Where the funding goes. The funding goes all back.
Goes local. Okay, just a reminder about some of the articles that I read. Every month I try to find some decent stuff that's different. One great little piece here about how they manipulate medical research factors to try to say there's a need for gun control. Common sense gun control, geez, shoes that look like a gun, you can't fly in an airplane, go figure. Gavin Newsom, we've already talked about. Okay, believe it or not, you go onto a college campus and someone has a little Star Wars lightsaber. Oh, they shut down the entire campus because someone says that might be a gun. We've got oh yes, they have another New Jersey story about how wonderful New Jersey is. You some site doing something, and they're gonna maybe throw them behind bars for 10 years because they had a prop gun. That's not common sense gun control, but that's, like I said, even worse. A couple piece, and then Senator McCarthy, and a bill that is proposed that would actually wipe out people who are private FFL holders and make it difficult